live. We've got a lot of fun things to talk about today. And I hope this finds you enjoying the holidays as much as we are. I mean, we don't have all my kids here because we're all spread up and down the eastern seaboard. However, put that mute on. Um, was just able to have a lot of fun this week. And let me tell you a little bit about something that's coming soon. If you're part of my newsletter, and if you're not, you can sign up. It's a freebie kind of a thing. Just go to BonnieBayCrochet.com and you can find it on my website. But I'm going to be sending out my recipe for, well, it's our family's favorite chocolate chip cookies. Let me show you how yummy they are. And I ran out of vanilla, so I found a bottle of amaretto to put in them for flavoring. If you've never tried flavoring either hot chocolate or cookies or even buttercream icing with amaretto, give it a try sometime. Yeah, it is alcohol based, but you know what? So is vanilla. It has probably about the same or less than just your regular teaspoon of vanilla. Excellent, excellent flavor. But anyway, we're here to talk a lot about the crocheter today. I'll put these over here because run under my nose. I might end up eating half of them before we're done. um, but um, we spend so much of our lives, which is a wonderful thing, thinking of others. What can I make this person? What can I make that person? How can we bless others? Well, today we're going to talk a little bit about what would bless you. Because I know many of you have friends with wonderful intentions saying, you know, what can I get you for Christmas? I really want to bless you with something. And so I thought we would just talk about that, give them some ideas, big and small. So we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. But first, I want to say hey to everybody. I just so appreciate you all being there so faithfully. Alana, thank you for being there. You're the first again this week. Wow. Um, she says, looks like winter today without the snow. It's been the same here for the last few days. It's just like those clouds that look like they're about to just snow, and it's very cold out, but no snow. And I'm not complaining about that, but it would be fun to have some. It says, we only get a little snow maybe for one day, then it is gone. Getting ready for Christmas? Absolutely. Of course, the best part about getting ready for Christmas for me is just trying to prepare the old heart, you know, for the main reason for the season. So um, I've actually uh, gotten a lot of the legwork, a lot of the shopping, and even the wrapping done and under the tree. So it's about 95% finished, and the other things that haven't been wrapped are mostly in South Carolina waiting for me to wrap them. So we are effectually done as far as the legwork. So now comes the fun part. It's just really trying to meditate on the joy of the season and being with people when we can, how we can. And I even gave my neighbors cookies yesterday, so I've covered them for the year. And was able to visit a friend and bring a poinsettia with me, and it's just a lot of fun to do stuff like that this time of the year. Well, let's see, who else do we have? We have um, Arts and Memostaros. I'm showing my ignorance again. I'm sorry. I am not a linguist, but I am so glad that you are here and are understanding. We have Love to Craft with us. She says, good morning, enjoying my cup of coffee as I wait in a chilly Southern California. Huh, chilly Southern California. Well, okay. Enjoy the chill because I know you guys get so much more sun than we're going to see this winter. But I'm so glad that you're here. Just playing with you a little bit. We have Angie and Kelly. She says, I'm watching and listening to you while studying the Bible from World Bible School. Ooh, that's cool. Maybe you should just turn me off and go read that because I'm sure that's more important than what we're going to be doing here. But thank you for joining us, Kelly. And we have Michelle. She says, good morning from sunny but cold Montana. It's 21 degrees Fahrenheit now, but was 9 degrees when I got up. That is cold. I am not looking forward to that. That's bone chilling cold. We have Nikki says, good morning, thanking our Lord for another blessed day in crocheting, waiting to watch Bonnie. Yay! Thank you so much, Nikki. Thanks for being there. Um, Kelly says they're getting a lot of rain, supposed to get more, about 90% chance. Yeah, we were supposed to get snow this week, but I didn't see any. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But it's okay if we have some snow flurries. Those are so beautiful. The non-shoveling kind of stuff. We have Rebecca in the chat, Tammy from Oregon, Cynthia from Holiday, Florida, Charlene from Arizona, Rebecca from Missouri, no- Nomina from Wilmington, North Carolina, Wanda from Bahama, North Carolina. Got a lot of Carolina folks today. Praise God. uh, as my mother-in-law would say, this is God's country. I think she's right. I love going down there. We have Tracy and Grace from Northwest Washington State, and Kelly Hart. I just got a lot of comments. Load. I was behind apparently. Um, Hey, Hannah, thank you for being there. And Esther, thank you for serving us, sweetheart. Esther is in the chat today. She says, just stopping in to say hi, not staying because I'm not feeling good. Yes, yeah, she was not feeling well yesterday. So if you guys want to pray for Esther, thank you. I don't know if she needs to get tested or what. That she was talking to me about that yesterday. Um, and we have Red Hooked from chilly but sunny Ohio. Yay, my mom and dad's birth state. And let's see. Okay, I'm catching up here. We have Pat from Dallas, Texas. And we have Wanda. Hey, Wanda, I just loaded your pictures into our slideshow, my friend. And thank you guys so much for all those pictures you sent in. We have a slideshow ready to go. I may bump it back one more week just so that I can sneak in a surprise extra, kind of a quick uh, crochet project in case you're looking for somebody on your list that you just can't figure out. So I'm going to be showing that to you in just a minute. But the week after that, so let me look at the calendar. I'm not really good with calendar numbers. Let's see. So the new last minute project is coming out on Monday, and then on the 20th of December. I mean, that's the week leading up to Christmas, and I know nobody's going to be sitting around relaxing too much then. I mean, unless we all get terribly snowed in. I'll be in South Carolina by then, so I can guarantee you we're not going to get snowed in. Almost guarantee that. So the 20th will be when I release the Mystery Cow Showcase. So I hope that doesn't, disrupt anybody too much, but I thought you'd rather have the crochet design first, just in case, you need something. It looks like we got a super chat donation. Thank you, Archer Nace. You've just bumped this up. I think we're up to about $20 now towards that next song. So thank you so much. Thank you for supporting us. And for those of you who don't know, when you give to the super chat and that cute little comic she's got there, that is money that goes towards charitable donation on behalf of Bonnie Babe Crochet, on behalf of our YouTube channel, and our two main charities right now that are near and dear to my heart. One would be the Rancho 3M. It's a children's orphanage and Christian school in Guadalupe, Mexico, right along the border there, which is one of the poorest areas, I think, in the entire country, if not the world. I mean, it's just really, well, I've been there, worked on the compound for about a week, back in 2006, and we've been trying to support them ever since. The other charity that we love is Children's Shriners Hospital for Children, because we have personal, friends and relatives personally touched by their ministry and the way they care for, children with orthopedic, difficulties. My mother-in-law had, she was not long after she was born, she contracted polio and had to have many surgeries on her leg that was affected. It's a miracle really that she's even alive, and she's 92, and probably mentally and physically stronger than a lot of us, maybe even, doing quite well right now by the grace of God and by the help of people who have helped her with a new brace that we were able to get her a little over a year ago. It's made a huge difference in everybody's life, and we're just really thrilled with them, the people that did that. So anyway, so Shriners and Bobby, and Bobby says to say hi. I heard from him this week. He's doing much better. He was able to. Thank you guys for praying for him. He's had a lot of physical challenges this year. And around this time of the year is, I guess it just passed recently, where it was the anniversary of the passing of his mother, who was his sole caretaker. So he's doing well, I think. He was able to get out with a friend or relative, I'm not sure whom, but get out the other day and go to the gym and do all sorts of, I think maybe even do some shopping. I don't know. Was able to get out of the home and do something out of the nursing home. So thank you guys for praying for him. Please continue to pray for him. He's, again, one of the crafty Kentuckian, and don't know if he's listening right now, but he is doing well. And I know a lot of it's because you guys are caring for him. Yeah, in that heavenly realm. So, yeah, so let me get back to saying hey to some more of you folks here. There's so many people. Um, let's see. Oh, Kelly says that she's got a head cold, but it's all but getting over it. Wow. I almost forgot what it was like to have a cold, and I'm okay with that. But just all this distancing and stuff, love it or hate it, it does work. It keeps the germs away, to a certain extent. But yeah, I don't know if my body's going to know what to do with the next cold it gets, but hopefully it'll remember. Um, I can't wait to get out there and start catching those colds. Well, sort of, not really. You know what I'm saying? I want to get back to normal, even if it means getting a cold. Um, let's see. But Esther, we're thinking of you, sweetheart. I hope you feel better soon. And Mary Hayes is in our chat, and Virginia Ginger, and let's see, Tinike. I probably said that right. Tin. Okay, forgive me. I can't remember. I remember that I'm doing it wrong, but is it Tinike? I don't know. But anyway, I'm so happy that you're here. You're gonna have to meet in person so that you can set me straight on that one. And we have Teresa from a very snowy Utah. Let me go ahead and bring up my chat here. Oh yes, Bobby is in the chat. Thank you, Hannah. Hannah just told me that Bobby is in the chat. Hey, Bobby. I hope you're doing well today. And Hannah just sent me one of her BTS emoji guys. Such fun. Um, I have to let you know, Hannah has me hooked on BTS. And it's all your fault, Hannah. But if I'm ever just down and out or whatever, and I'm driving in just really aggravating traffic, all I got to do is tell my car, say, play BTS, and then it brings up the song Butter, and then it brings up Permission to Dance. That's all I need, and the sun comes out. It's great. I've got some other fun songs too. I pull up it, but thank you, Hannah. You've infected your ma with the same bug. Now all I got to do is learn how to dance like they do, and then I'm gonna hit the road. like, not really. Just sorry, guys. You don't have to get scared. I'm not gonna do that. I'd probably end up in traction somewhere. um, let's see. We have Diane from New Jersey. Say hello to my son and daughter-in-law for me. They're in New Jersey too. And Pat Dancer says, "No fair, Bonnie. Yummy cookies." Yeah, that 1,000 calories a bite, Pat. They're wonderful. Well, not really 1,000 calories, but the way I eat them, it's probably 1,000 calories. Anyway, we have Wynette and aw, wannabe crocheter or knitter says, "I wanted to say sorry for not being here very much." Oh, hey, sweetheart, that's. I hope you're doing well. It's not a mandate to be here, and we record this, and you can see it afterwards. I just love hanging out with you guys. This is like my major social interaction of the week, no joke. Um, and I love it. I just can't wait till we get to do an in-person conference. Well, anyway, we have Melinda Hunter in the chat from Centennial, Colorado. Oh, Melinda, I hope if all things go well. She says we're finally getting some snow in the Denver metro area today. Well, if things go well, and if this COVID thing kind of stays in check, I hope to be in Colorado. We're going to be flying into Denver and then driving to Loveland in April for the Yarn Fest um, retreat or conference, whatever. They're going to have all kinds of different teachers there. And if it happens, so I'm crossing my fingers, the last 2 years I was supposed to be there and it was canceled. So I'm really hoping that 2022 is the year. So stay tuned. Maybe we can meet up somewhere if you can get a chance to come. My sister is hoping to fly there with me. So we're just going to have a sister getaway out west. So once the conference is over, we might, I don't know, maybe spend some time driving up through the Rocky Mountain National Park. I would love to take my sister up there. She's never been. I've only been once, and I just couldn't wait to get back there. Um, we have Margita and Angela from sunny Phoenix. Ah, I love going to your state too. We have Sandy and Penny and Kelly Hart says, I will sign up for your newsletter. Thank you, Kelly. And as you know, I am not a super spammer. If you do sign up for that newsletter, just to let you all know, I don't sell anybody personal information of any of the people that follow me ever. Okay, and I am not that desperate for food or anything else to have to do something like that. I really do treasure the relationship that I have with you guys, and I appreciate your support more than words can express. And I value your privacy. I value my privacy. So anyway, just to let you know, if you do sign up, you're not going to have. I'm not going to be selling that to other companies. You're not going to be getting a bunch of other spam from anybody else. Or if you do, it's not coming from me. I don't do that. But I do send out a newsletter. It's not as regular as it should, but it's about once a month. I'm the one who does it, and I don't do it a whole lot, just to let you know that. So you're not signing up for something that you have to clear out of your mailbox every single day. Um, Maybe once a month. And you might actually want to click on it and see what I have in there. It's just mostly a review of what's going on, but sometimes I put special things, and I think I am going to put my cookie recipe in there if I get a chance to do that later today or tomorrow. So look for it sometime this weekend if you sign up for that. Um, Mary Hayes is not sure where part of my post went, but hello, everyone from sunny Arizona. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Thank you, Mary. Yes. Ooh, Teresa says they have almost 10 inches of snow. Good golly. Uh, that's great, I guess. I mean, my kids would be reveling in that, so they would just be woohoo. They'd be hooting and hollering to get out in that, even as adults. Um, my daughter now, well, Hannah and Becky both, I mean, are in parts of the country now that really don't get snow. So they love to get snow, right, Hannah? I know Becky just just loves it too, and she's not going to get much in Georgia, not where she is. So I hate to disappoint, but we have, is it Kesey? Um, Thank you so much for your sweet comment there. Um, Virginia said that they have clouds but very little rain and they need it so bad. Wow. And hey, Anne, thank you for your comment. Wishing us all a day filled with joy from Greenwood, Indiana. Wow. And we have Angelique from the Netherlands. Whoa. And so glad you guys tuned in. Wow. All these places I need to add to my list where I want to go. Um, and Michelle says, no snow where I am in Montana. Mountains have a little, though. Wow. And Marilyn is here from Kansas. And a friend from Russia. I'm sorry, I don't read Russian, but I am so glad that you're here. Um, wow, I need to learn how to do. I need to get Lana, my friend Sweat Lana, who owns the yarn store, and I'm going to talk about her in just a second. I have some goodies to show you. Um, yeah, she knows Russian. She's Russian through and through. I need to get her to help me read these. We have, is it Delph Ray from France? Wow. And Darlene from Eatontown, B. Eatontown. Okay, I don't know if that's Boston or anyway. Yeah, I'm showing my ignorance again. Sorry, guys. And we have Kathy from the Canadian Rockies. Ooh, gosh, that's a beautiful part of the world of your country, obviously. But wow. And we have Angie from South Carolina. Hey, Angie, it was so good to meet you. I got to meet Angie. That was so much fun. I just wish we had more time. I was on the road and had to get on down the road a piece, but we had a great time with over lunch on one of my travels. Um, okay, Darlene says from East Eatontown, New Jersey. Okay, thank you. Um, Eatontown, New Jersey. I have to look that one up too. Um, well, anyway, let me go ahead and show you some things. Let's see which. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right sheet here. Well, let me go ahead and show you just some fun goodies. Beautiful bag, yay! You know what this means. Um, I went to the grand opening. It was kind of like the official, with the ribbon cutting and all of that. I posted it on my Facebook page at So Original in Columbia, Maryland. That's a big, well, it's not real big, but it's yarn store where Lana moved to. Remember, I don't know if you saw. I have a video too about moving a yarn store and how much fun that was. Well, let me show you what I got for a shawl. That'll be coming at some point. Don't know when. But I just love this yarn. This is called Unique Fingering. It's by a company called Earth, URTH. And just look at the colors on that. Isn't that going to be pretty? And I thought this would go with it really well too. This is also their company yarn. This is all fingering weight. I just love this kettle dye, hand dyed yarn. It's just so pretty. So we're gonna put this together. We're gonna put this together with something, and it looks like you guys like that, huh? I know it looks kind of fallish colors, but by the time I get around to designing something that's deserving of this yarn, it may be next fall. But I hope not. I like working on shawls all year long. I don't know about you, but they're just so much fun to do. Well, I did say I have a new design coming on Monday, and let me show this to you right now. This is a very easy project. This is a very beginner friendly project. Okay, it is, this one in particular is made out of Cascade Yarns Spontaneous yarn. It's a single ply. I don't have any extra to really show you. It's a single ply, and this is going to make me really hot because I'm getting warm in here. So this can be a very, very big, long scarf, or you can double it as one of those big, cushy cowls. And this is 100% extra fine merino yarn, but it feels amazing. Very, very cushy and everything. And this, believe me, if you're cold, this is going to keep your chest and it's going to keep you warm. And if you even wanted to bring it up, if you even wanted to bring it up partly over your ears when you're outside, you can do that with this particular one. I'm going to take it off. Whew, here's going to be all messed up. Okay, so this yarn is obviously not cheap. Well, it's not uh, acrylic yarn. Okay, is what I mean to say is it's not out of the question, but it's a more of a luxury yarn as a single ply merino. It's the extra chunky. So I know many of you are going to want an alternative. So I did make an alternative. I made one very very similar. Actually, I added an extra row because I had more yarn, and I added 10 more stitches to make it a little bit longer. And this is made out of that Bernat blanket yarn that I know most of you have used. It's a little bit stiffer to use because just the way the Bernat blanket yarn is. This yarn that it's called the Spontaneous by Cascade Yarns, it actually is not as bad on your hands, if you know what I mean, as far as pulling the strands through and all. But either way, these are These are very fast. It's just working um, front and back post double crochets. I mean, those of you who've ever done ribbing, you could probably whip this off. You don't even need to ask for help on any of these. But this one, the original pattern in the video is going to have 90 chains. So I think total stitches, let's see, 9 times 7, I think it's like 630 stitches. I mean, total for the entire project. I used a size P hook, but if you wanted to use an even bigger hook, you can. The one that I used was 11.5 millimeter. If you wanted to, use a bigger hook that you have on hand, it's not one of these projects where you have to go out and have the specific hook. If you've got one that's even close, even a little bit bigger, it is going to be fine. So this is coming out on Monday. I think it took me a total of, if it took me 2 hours, that's a lot to make this from start to finish. Um, and anyway, and you will have some left over on the Bernat blanket yarn, but it takes most of the yarn. I would say about 3/4 of the ball of yarn will be used up. So however long it takes you to crochet 3/4 of a ball of the Bernat blanket yarn, that's about what this takes. And like I said, it's very beginner friendly. I'm of the believer of, if a person is beginning crochet, I think it's good to expose them to a lot of different things, not just the same thing all the time, because that just creates boredom. It's like a child with food almost. Expose them to, I mean, I am not a good example on doing this with my kids, right, Hannah? But excuse me. I think having more things to choose from is better, and to be able to find on the crochet, your crochet palette, find what you enjoy doing. So anyway, so that's coming, and the pattern kind of, it's a simple pattern, but still, I'm going to have that in my Lovecraft store. It is there now. I don't know if it's showing on my page, but it is there now if you wanted to even look at that. It is free for for the end of the year. Okay, January 1st, it's going to no longer be free. So it'll just be a couple dollars. It's not going to be an expensive pattern or anything like that. But just as a as a Christmas thank you too, I just wanted to put that up there in the store for you guys to download. Excuse me. And it will also be on my watch channel. So I'm going to try to get the video up on the watch channel probably by this evening, so that my watch supporters can have that. Yeah, Seed Faith Homestead says, I like projects that don't take too long. 2 hours for a scarf is really good, I think. Yeah, and it's easy. This is easy, but it's also kind of one of those trending things now. The big chunky stuff. If you go to the stores, that's really in. And like I said, even if you wanted to make it bigger, all you got to do is add change, and it really doesn't matter if you stick with an even number, you'll be following the video in a true sense. But if it's an odd number you add to the 90, so what? I mean, it's whatever you really want to do. 90 is a good start. You saw what that looked like. If you wanted it bigger and wider, just add 10 chains to it, make it 100, and you'll have enough on the Bernat. But if you bump the cascade yarn up to 100, I don't know that you'll have enough for the same amount of rounds. So anyway, so that is coming on Monday. Tanya says, that's funny. I'm making a baby blanket right now with front and back post double crochet. Yeah, I love post stitches. I can do those in the dark. I told someone the other day, it's almost like I can do that in the dark with maybe one hand tied behind my back. Well, not really, but it's just, they're so much easier than working in the top loop, because you don't have to focus on it. Your fingers can feel where the hook needs to go. Oh, thank you, Lynn. It's so good to see you in the chat, my Chicago friend. And Cindy from North Carolina. I am working backwards a little bit here in the chat. Says the infinity scarf looks warm and cozy. Yeah, it is. It will heat you up. But there's folks in the chat where it's already 21 degrees for the high and 9 degrees in the morning. You need something like that just to keep the skin from from getting numb when you go outside, just so you can talk almost. It's kind of funny. We have a mask mandate where we live, and I I won't get into all the discussion about that, but coming out of the store, it's been cold enough here to where I forget to take it off because it kind of feels good because it keeps my face from freezing when I go outside. Um, but yeah, we're getting into that time of the year where it is starting to be cold. I'm having to wear 2 layers just inside the house so that I'm not chilled. Mostly because I'm not a hot drinker. I'm still a big, well, Pepsi Zero fan, even in the wintertime, and I love my ice, so that's my problem. So I have to wear 2 layers just to keep that. Uh, and we have Anne Ann Basher in our chat. Yeah, she likes the yarn. Yeah, I just love looking at the earth yarn. The URTH is how they spell that. I love, if you go online, you can look at all that they have. It's really something. Yeah. As far as the snow goes, Virginia says, I want some snow, love it, but I don't want to get stranded. Yeah, and my little car that I have now, I love driving it, but I think I'm going to drive it to South Carolina. And if I come back to Mirror, I'm going to leave it in South Carolina because it's a rear wheel drive car. So I'm sure it could probably do fine in the snow. My concern though is all the other people around me. I just don't want to become a Miata sandwich, if you know what I mean. It just takes about 3 snowstorms for people here to know or to remember to just slow down, and to not go ice skating with your car down the road. And I'm just not willing to risk it. So I think we're going to park it in the Carolinas just for a couple months during the snow, and then, because I'll be going back and forth anyway, so I'll be able to have a vehicle when I'm down there. So yeah, I don't want to, and I also don't want to get all the it's a new car, so I don't, and it's only like the second new car I've ever had in my entire life. The last one I had was in 1985, and I think the cars back then, my car cost about $7,000. So it's a different, it's a different time and place now. So yeah, and I don't want to. I just don't want to drive it where there's a lot of salt on the road. And they do, and they take care of the roads here very well by putting salt on them so that it keeps the ice and stuff melted. But I don't want to get that in my car, because that's just the beginning of the end. Ah, Oh, thank you, Hannah. She says that we have a Portuguese friend who dreams of the day when I put subtitles in her language, not pressuring at all. Thanks for letting me know that, Hannah. I will talk to my husband and see if we can maybe do some Portuguese translations. Um, the challenge that I have with the translation is there are, like, I wrote down the list of all the languages I really wanted to translate them into, and it's a long list, and it's just a lot of financial investment to do that with the service that we're using. But we've limited ourselves to 5. I'll talk to Dad about that and see if we can do Portuguese as well. Um, but we are doing them as each new video comes out. We are putting them in Arabic, Spanish, Italian. We have English subtitles, and we're doing Chinese as well. Um, but there are so many other languages I would love to add. I would love to add Korean. I'd love to add Japanese. I'd love to add Portuguese. I'd love to add French and German, and but then it just gets very complicated and very expensive because we're paying by the hour of. Anyway, I won't get into all that, but I definitely want to expand that. I do have good news. The Dune Varna shawl, we had some issues with that this week. It actually was bootlegged or stolen, whatever. Um, I won't get into all the details, but there's another YouTuber out there who's not really authorized, but but in a sense, we have to give them a pass because they thought it was fine to do because it was a free pattern on a Russian site, which was actually that one was stolen. So it gets really complicated. And thank you to who told me that this was going on. I've alerted Annie's, and Annie's.com is dealing with it because Annie's is actually the owner of this particular design. And it's not a free pattern. So if you guys see things out there that are like, oh, this is a free pattern, and or if you see, oh, look at Bonnie's book and all the stuff is free. Well, if you see that, please let me know because they're not free. Okay, this pays for people's livelihood, and so that we can live indoors in the wintertime, and eat 3 meals a day, and drive a car instead of having to walk everywhere and stuff like that. So thank you guys, those of you who have alerted me to that. And I don't intend any other YouTubers harm or anything like that. It's just that yeah, when things kind of get stolen, it's a little uncomfortable. What do? You want to be, you just want to let them know, but at the same time, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts. The publication industry is just across many different genres are struggling, and that doesn't help when people steal. Um, okay. Tracy Hamilton asks, is there such a thing as a protector, so to speak, for protecting a blanket? The section you've already done so it doesn't get dirty while you're working. I saw that earlier this week, Tracy. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm not exactly sure how to do that. I know that sometimes if your yarn is not particularly high quality, um, I know sometimes it can get kind of worn looking just by sitting on your lap, and that's one reason why I think having good yarn is a good idea. But as far as while you're actually doing it, I'm not sure what to tell you on that. What you could try to do is just make sure that you're in a place that's clean. I don't know. If anybody else has ideas out there, please let me know, and we can talk about this. Um, but I know what you're talking about because you don't want things to get soiled. I will say this, that one thing you may want to do is make sure that your hands are really clean. I'm not saying you have dirty hands or anything like this, and I'll tell you a quick story. When I started playing flute when I was in junior high school, my hands had something that reacted to the nickel that my flute was made of. I didn't start out on a silver flute. It was a just a nickel flute and a student flute years ago. And within 2 weeks of me playing this particular flute, and I did play a lot, um, it actually damaged the metal on the flute. So I don't know. I don't really know what to say. If the dirt that you're finding, it could be just from oil in the hands. I don't know if you have animals. I don't know if you have, cats or dogs, because I know sometimes cats and dogs go outside and you do what you can to keep them clean, but then, they jump up on the couch. And I mean, we don't have pets in the house just simply because of allergies with my kids and with my husband. If I had my way, we would have at least a cat or dog in the house, but we don't. So why don't you email me? We can talk about it. I really don't know of anything. I mean, one thing you may want to do, maybe you can wrap it in a sheet, or drape a sheet over you while you're working on it, and then wrap it up in that. I don't know. But if any of you guys have ideas, please share with Tracy about that. Okay, Angela Rios, is there one of your Afghans besides the Tree of Life that I could use the Lion Brand yarn wool ease size 6? Um, you well, one thing that I did with that is make the braided carpet, the Aran circular rug out of that particular yarn. Um, and just for clarity, the Tree of Life, while I did teach it on my channel, that's not my original pattern. I just want to, just to be clear about that. But that is a free pattern, courtesy of Lion Brand yarns. Should any of you be interested in that, it's a really beautifully written pattern, except for maybe the border, which I could never quite figure out. But the main part of it is pretty spectacular. And if you want to learn how to read charts, you can follow me on that particular pattern, and you will learn how to do the Tree of Life project. And I promise you will know how to read charts after going through that with me, because I go line by line, step by step. Yeah, it takes forever. It's like 6 videos, 6 or 7 videos. But if you're really looking to read charts, that's the go-to pattern. Um, there is a the Celtic Cross Afghan. It was one that I did for Red Heart. No. I did that one for Crochet World magazine. That used a thicker yarn that would work well with that. It's more of a simplified. It's just a big cable, crossed in the middle, and it's a square, and it has tassels on the corners. So that would be one that the chunky yarn would work well with. I would hesitate to go to the some of the other highly texturized ones, because that's going to make them weigh a ton. Okay, well, let me go ahead. I don't want to lose you guys. Let's go ahead and talk about us, okay? About the crocheter. We've already talked about, what we're going to do for everybody else, and how we're going to bless everybody else, and we're going to make everybody this, that, and the other thing. Well, when someone comes up to you and says, "What do you want for Christmas?" or "What would you like?" I mean, most of us don't need anything. I mean, that's understood. And I'm not going to get into that conversation about, oh, we shouldn't be giving gifts. And like, no, we give gifts. I'm sorry. In our family, we love giving gifts. And we like to give things that we need, but sometimes it's fun to give things that we enjoy too. So, and when that question comes up, I just thought I would show some things to you. There are some links in the video description below to that link up with this, but not for everything. Here's something that I adore. This is my crochet hook case. It goes wherever I go. When I travel, wherever, even if I'm on an airplane, this comes with me. Everything in here is TSA safe at the moment. And I picked this up at a craft show. I don't know if this lady has, you can see how the hooks fit so nicely in here. And then over here is a zip pocket and lots of stuff inside. Okay, and I have everything in here that I need except the yarn. I can do anything. Now I have a separate set, which is a smaller pack with my circular needles, my circular knitting needles. I don't use that near as much, but I have that as a separate thing. But even when I'm knitting, I bring this with me. And inside here, okay, where are they? Okay, here is something that I think, or if you also, you can use this as an idea for something to get your fellow crocheter friend. How about a nice pair of scissors? I have 2 of these in this pack just in case they get lost. And these are very sharp, and all I use them for is yarn and thread. It's not for paper cutting. And I mean, I just love these. I have another pair in here. Where did it go? Well, anyway, I also have a teeny tiny screwdriver in here just in case. But these little scissors are really, really fun. Let's see. Here's something you can get. This is a measuring tape, and these are so much fun. I have a lot of these, but every time I need one, I can usually just about find one, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm one of the believers that just like reading glasses, you can never have too many of these. And as far as reading glasses go, I should put this in the video description. It's not in the video description now, but if you go to Amazon, they have these blue light readers. And I love these. I'm at a 2.0, I think, now on my magnification. But they're also blue screen protection on the glass. And I know some people think, that doesn't do anything. I'm going to tell you, it does something for me. So maybe it doesn't do something for everybody, but I don't have headaches or anything. And I'm on the computer a lot. Maybe you can get somebody a gift card so they can go to Michael's or Joann's and they can get their own little knickknacks and notions that they need. And I have lots of these. See these yarn needles? I don't just have one because I tend to break them sometimes. Get them some of those. Or maybe, how about an Etsy gift card? And you can get these cool little handmade buttons and all kinds of cool things. And I am pretty sure that the lady who made my case, I don't have the name. I don't remember. It's been a couple years since I bought this. I bought it in Frederick, Maryland, but I'm pretty sure if you look on Etsy, you can find some of these handmade cases there. So, if people, what do you want? Well, get me an Etsy gift card. Here is something that I love, love, love. Okay, this past year I added to my collection. I got a case for this, and it's much easier to store in my studio. If you are planning on getting into the nicer yarns, maybe you want a Swift. I believe this is made of birch wood. And this is the time of the year when they have sales. A lot of really good sales. I bought both this, and I'll show you my yarn ball winder. I do have the link for this in the video description. And as a disclaimer, some of these are affiliate links, but and I do appreciate it when you are able to use them, but it doesn't cost you anything extra. It's just, I get a little bit of credit with them for doing that. But I only recommend things that I absolutely love and things that I'm already using. This is by far, I think, the best ball winder I'm aware of. I'm just trying to show you. This is Stanwood. It's the large ball winder. It's not those little tiny dinky things that tend to break. It's very large. I have wound yarn for the last, well, every book but the first book that I did. The first book, I didn't own one of these. I wound all my yarn by hand. I didn't know better. And I do have videos on how to work this. You do need to have a table with a little bit of a lip so that you attach this thing to it. But this is not showing anywhere, and I've used it for years. I love it. Again, there is a link for that in the video description. Okay, I just finished up a major project that's coming in February. It was an Afghan. This is the one that I promised you, and has lots of textures in it. It took me 3 of these to block it. Of course, you don't have to block using these. I love these things because they come in these little plastic cases. Each of these has 9, of these, and you can stick pins in it to hold your project while you're wet blocking it. And I've used this a lot, and you can see some holes in it, but by and large, it's what they call self-healing. The holes, you may be able to see them, but it doesn't leave gaping holes or something in it. And again, I used 3 of these to block a regular size Afghan. Now, some of you who like king size beds and stuff like that, you could probably need more. I know that some people do use those foam things from like Home Depot and places like that. I honestly don't know how different those would be. They might be fine, but I do like the grids. Even if the grids don't line up absolute perfectly with all of these, they line up close enough. So, it helps you to be able to line things up when you're blocking things. And I have 2 of these in my collection. This is the box I'm showing you. Trying to balance too many things here. These are, let me read what it says here. The writing is so tiny. Okay, knit blocking comb set. It's by Red Surica. I do have a link for these in the video description, and these are great. You can see the pins, and you can imagine, instead of using those tiny little pins that can get lost and your family find them with their feet, I don't do that anymore. So you can put your item down and then just push this in, and it holds it until it dries. Take these out, and they store very easily right in the box here. And They have some long ones and some short ones. And for this particular project, I did get into using the T-pins. And you can see it does come with a collection of T-pins in each box. So I have not run out of these so far, but I did get 2 sets. I do have 2 sets, and that's been able to block everything that I've made on my channel. And that's required blocking. I don't block everything because not everything needs to be blocked. Let's put that in. There we go. But again, these are not super cheap. These blocks were a little more expensive than I thought they would be, but I'm really glad that I got them because, again, I've used them often, and especially for blocking shawls. That they're just fantastic. Okay, bounce. Something on the smaller side that might bless. Maybe a subscription to Crochet World magazine if you don't have one of these already. It's a lot of fun just to get mail that's not a bill, you know, or not junk mail. And maybe you can tell someone, oh well, I would like to join Crochet Guild of America this year. I don't really know the exact price. It's in a $40 ballpark, but I don't know exactly how much it is now. But with your membership, you also get a year's subscription to Crochet Magazine. That's part of your membership with CGOA. And lots of, I probably shouldn't put that with my address, oh well. Lots and lots of, patterns. And this comes out, I think both of these come out 4 times a year. And you also have access to many online designs that have already published. So it's not just what's in the magazine, it's also what's on their website. From the past. For example, I renewed this past year and I got a new calendar. This came free, and it's a beautiful calendar. It has all of these designs that will show up, one each month. And in the back of the book, or in the back of the calendar, you have all the written patterns. So isn't that cool? So that was just something that Annie sent me for free for renewing. And let's see, some other items. Let me see. You can ask people if they want to get you something. Tell them, give me some crochet hooks. Tell them what kind of hooks you want. If you like these soft handle crochet hooks by Susan Bates, I have a link for those in the video description. They can get them for you from Amazon. You just send them an Amazon link if you're an Amazon person like I am. Let me look at some of these other things I wrote down here. How about a gift certificate to your favorite local yarn store? Maybe if you're in the Maryland area, you can get one to Sew Original or to Knit Locally. Let's see. How about a yarn bowl? I left mine in this living room, but these beautiful maple yarn bowls. I have a link for that in the video description as well. How about a beautiful yarn basket? They have these available at different places. These are the African market baskets. I don't have a link for these, but they often show up at yarn stores and yarn shows and yarn festivals. And the last thing that I thought of that you can tell people, what about maybe you have, if you know friends who are frequent flyers, maybe you can ask them, well, how about some frequent flyer miles so that I can attend the CGOA conference in New Orleans in July, or so that I can attend Yarn Fest in Loveland, Colorado in April. I have not been to the Yarn Fest before. This will be my first time, so I'm not sure what the interaction is like there. I am anticipating that it's going to be fabulous, but I honestly don't know yet. I'm really hoping for the best. It's going to be a mix of crocheters and knitters, but now CGOA is exclusively crochet. I mean, sometimes there are knitting classes there occasionally, but by and by, just about 100% of the people there are crocheters, and that's their first passion. And they are a hoot, as my friend Donna would say. They are so much fun to be with. These are real people. It's not a bunch of business executives or anything like that. It's real, fun, normal, down to earth people for the most part. Um, and we just know, we just have fun, and people are just very friendly as far as I've experienced. And so you can ask people, say, well, do they have hotel room credits? I don't know if they have, if those can be gifted or not, but I know that frequent flyer miles can be in some situations. So maybe say, I need enough frequent flyer miles to go to New Orleans this summer, or maybe just some travel cash. Some, I don't know, do they still have travelers checks? I don't know, but maybe just say I could use some money for a trip that I want to take. So and I think that's quite legitimate. I will say that when I've attended these things, my mental health has just soared, and just, I get all my yarny friends together. Oh, it's just so much fun. And I have friends that I haven't seen in years, and I'm so looking forward to that. So anyway, I hope that is helpful. I'm just trying to think of, practical things. Oh, here's something else I didn't think of. How about a mannequin? Something, if you wanted to put a sweater on. They have these at Joann's, and I don't think they have them at Michael's, but they have these online too. Um, that one's not as nice as the one I got here, but that one came from one of my favorite stores, shut down and went out of business, which is kind of sad. But it's just a fun mannequin so that you can put your sweaters on, so that you can see, or take, so that you can take pictures. Especially if you maybe have an Etsy store and you sell some of your crochet things. It's great to have a mannequin so that you can, take photos of it, so that you can upload a decent picture and stuff like that. All right. Whew. Sorry, guys, I didn't get to as many comments today. All that talking, but I hope that is helpful. I just really, really, really wanted to talk about that. Um, did I talk about anything or everything else? Yeah, I think I covered my list. Oh my goodness, and it's good and close. Um, all right. Well, you know what? I wanted to read something to you, and then I probably need to go. I promised. I'm sorry, Hannah, that you're not here to come with us, but I promised Hudson that we would go get tacos for lunch after the live today. It's just kind of a fun thing that I like to do with my kids. Don't judge me, right? No, I don't eat them every day. I love tacos, and I love my burritos too. So I usually get one of each. And unlimited supply of the Diet Mountain Dew. Oh, looking forward to this. Okay, well, I wanted to read to you another. I just I'm so blessed by the Christmas carols, as you know. I was going to maybe try to play some more today, but I thought, I just really need to talk with you guys instead. But I did want to read a story, or a hymn. It's called The First Noel. And many of you have heard this probably more times than we can count. But I just wanted to start off by saying that this is based on a verse from Luke chapter 2. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field. And just in case you didn't know, shepherds back then, I don't know what their social status is currently. I mean, and we of course love shepherds because that's where we get our wool. I mean, and we can make some beautiful, beautiful things. We, appreciate these people. But by and large, even in the Old Testament, during the time when Joseph was in Egypt, this is going way back to Genesis now. Um, yeah, it was Genesis, story of Joseph. And shepherds were not highly looked upon people. In fact, Joseph, when telling his brothers, when they went back, he revealed himself that, Joseph, the one who was sold into slavery by his brothers, and then, years later, he is like the prime minister of Egypt, and pretty much saved the world from starvation. And he sends his brothers back, and then they go and they bring their father Jacob, back to live in Egypt during the famine there, for the 7-year famine. And so Joseph tells his brothers, before his brothers go in to see Pharaoh, he even tells them, when Pharaoh asks you what you do, don't tell them that you're shepherds. Tell them that you're cattlemen, okay? Because shepherds were thought of as pretty low on the totem pole when it comes to social status. So we need to think about that when we think about what's happening in this story, what happened in history, because I just love it, because God didn't start out going to the president and going to Congress to reveal himself. He went to shepherds. How amazing is that? Okay, here we go. I'm going to try to hold it together, guys. The first Noel, the angel did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay. In the fields where they lay, keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. They looked up and saw a star shining in the east, beyond them far, and to the earth it gave great light, and so it continued both the day and night. And by the light of that same star, 3 wise men came from country far. To seek for a king was their intent, and to follow the star wherever it went. This star drew nigh to the northwest, o'er Bethlehem it took its rest. And there it did both stop and stay, right over the place where Jesus lay. They entered in, those wise men 3, full reverently upon their knee, and offered there in his presence their gold and myrrh and frankincense. Then let us all with one accord sing praises to our heavenly Lord, that made heaven and earth of naught, and with his blood mankind hath bought. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. Just love those songs. Looking forward to singing a whole bunch more as the weeks go by. Well, you guys have a fantastic week, and stay safe, stay warm, and hopefully see you next week. God bless.